Okay, finally, here we go.
Oh, there you are. Welcome. Come on in. Don't be shy.
And there you guys are. Welcome. Come on in. Don't be shy. Wow, what an amazing trajectory to get to get started. Good to see everybody, guys. An unexpected stream. I told you guys that we would be doing probably the next one would be a post disclosure, but and here we are. So this is a post disclosure that we're doing, and we're kind of doing it. We're kind of doing it because we have some very interesting news to share. So let me see. Let me see who is in here, guys. Let me say hello, and let's see who's in here. Welcome everybody, and there he is. There's the doctor. Good to see Dr. Adega, my friend Dr. Adega. Meaning to catch up, my friend, and hope you are doing well. Hope you are doing well, my friend. And good to see Dr. Adega. And you know what? Hey, Arg, go find that clip. Where's the clip? Where's the Dr. Adega clip? You see it?
These are our newly arrived surgeons, Doctors Trowbridge and Greenbaum.
Doctor?
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 And doctor. Well, we miss anyone?
There it is. There's the Dr. Adega clip. One of our favorite clips. And who else is in here, guys? Cryptic Charm. Good to see you, my friend Cryptic. What's this, says Cryptic. What is this? If soldiers are on the moon, who are they fighting? Well, they don't necessarily need to be fighting anybody, as far as we know. They don't necessarily need to be fighting everybody. And hello, Reverend Shinzai. Reverend Shinzai is in here too. And good to see Reverend Shinzai. Reverend Shinzai in the house. Yeah, we don't necessarily need to be fighting anybody. But so there was some very interesting news yesterday. It's going to kind of be a short let me just finish saying hi to everybody. Angular boys are in here. Hey, Angular boys. And we don't necessarily need to be fighting anybody. And this is going to be a short stream, but we're going to be we're going to be talking about the news yesterday on Fox News. It was obviously done on purpose. And it was some of you guys saw the post. It's Very subtle. It was a very subtle leak, disclosure leak on Fox News. Very subtle. So subtle that so subtle that nobody, not a lot of people seem to pick up on it, to be honest. But let's see. U.S. astronaut soldiers on the moon is a hell of a good name for a punk band. Yeah, maybe it is. And we're gonna get to the Fox clip in a second, right? And OMG, it is says Reverend Shinzai. So how's everybody been? Is hello to each other, and of course we're running on PJ Standard Time, Adega. What else would we be doing? What else? What other time? We wouldn't be doing it on regular Eastern Standard Time. We're on PJ time. I'm sitting here tapping my foot like I'm Sonic, and my foot's full of metal, like Metal Sonic because of the film. Oh yeah, there was a new Sonic, wasn't there? You guys are catching up. Yeah, and we had a little issue there we were getting through. So good to see everybody in here. Mountains of Elysium, good to see you, Mountains. Greetings, PJ and fellow nerds. Can't stay long, but wanted to drop. Hey, thank you for popping in, my friend. Thank you for popping in, Mountains. And do it on British. We don't get Fox News unless we're looking for it and donate myself. The question is being posted to the moon an honor or punishment? That's a very complicated question, I think, with this topic. And there's a lot of stuff I don't talk about because this is the kind of there's a lot of information of this kind that I consume, and I end up absorbing a lot about it. And I think I think it depends. I think it depends on how you've been brought to the moon and how you got there. So you guys will obviously let's see. You guys will obviously there's a clip here of and we're going to take a second before we look at the clip. But Secretary of the Army Dan Driscoll here was on Fox yesterday, and this is the gentleman we're talking about, and he was on Fox yesterday for a very short interview, and it was very simple, very easy, but it was interesting because he let slip this very subtle thing, like it was just commonplace, right? That we have U.S. astronauts, soldiers on the moon. And first of all, we don't have, technically, as far as the public knows, we don't have astronauts on the moon, and we don't have soldiers on the moon. So when he talks about this, in the interview, I mean, it's very subtle. It's very casual, exceedingly casual, and but it's a big deal. It's a big deal. And the other thing too is in 2 days there's the the Army's 250th anniversary on the 14th, and I think it's very interesting that this leak with the big U.S. Army celebration. I think it's very interesting that this leak comes from the Secretary of the Army. And hello, Tommy and the Guinea Pig Collective. Greetings. And yes, that's a very British comment. Cryptic. Americans will disagree. But hey, John Beagle Dad, good to see you. Yes, we got Astro Troopers. Well, I think we've always had Astro Troopers, and so we've always had Astro Troopers. I think that maybe he read some Hitchhiker's Guide and got confused. I thought Earth was flat. See, ACJH. And loving the cracks from the peanut gallery, guys. I thought the Earth was flat. Yeah, well, so now this brings to light something called Project Horizon. And Project Horizon was an old 50s and 60s army plan to put troops on the moon and to have a military base on the moon, and ultimately to put nukes on the moon. And the that is a plan that was declassified a few years ago, and there was always rumors about it, but it got declassified. And we're going to talk. What we're going to do is this is going to kind of be it's just kind of we're kind of just letting the cat out of the bag here, because not a lot of people are talking about this. And I got to be honest, like I didn't see anybody talking about it until I posted about this yesterday on X. Hey, Ms. Martin, good to see you. Good to see you, Ms. Martin. So, Project Horizon, we're kind of just gonna briefly touch upon all this today, and we're probably gonna have more of a discussion about this on another stream. And but take a look at this right here, for example. Oh, wrong image. One sec. So these are some of like the initial pictures from disclosure of the U.S. Army's plan to put a base on the moon, and that was called Project Horizon. And this is the late 50s, early 60s, and the question is, did this? Officially, this got totally scrapped. There's all kinds of unofficial accounts of we finally got into space. We finally went to the moon. There's the very common rumor of, yeah, we totally got to the moon, and it wasn't fake. And maybe they filmed stuff on the side in case they couldn't show some of the real footage. But we got to the moon and we were asked not to come back or something along those lines. And yeah, that does look cool, huh? That does look cool. And so that's some of the original concept artistry for let me blow that up a little bit. That's some of the original here. Some of the original concept artistry for Project Horizon. This is the late 50s, very late 50s, and early 60s. Space Force needs Starship in order to bring hundreds of thousands of tons to the surface of the moon. Yeah. Well, officially, yes. Officially, Space Force needs Starship. But to be honest, we probably got a lot more going on than we realize. And the reason that that the Trump administration is starting this slow drip of disclosure, and we're going to see the clip now in a little bit. We're going to see that Fox clip in a little bit. The reason we're starting, the reason we're getting that slow drip of disclosure is because there is so much. All right, there's so much to disclose that, and there's always been that excuse. Well, there's so much to disclose. If we disclose it all at once, people will panic and people whatever. And I'm not so sure. Oh, by the way, I saw the other day that David Duchovny, the actor from the X-Files, played Agent Mulder, has got this wonderful new, and he is the perfect person. Isn't Agent? I mean, if Agent Mulder isn't the perfect person, David Duchovny, Agent Mulder, is the perfect person to have a channel a History Channel docuseries on disclosure stuff and secret stuff. If he isn't the perfect host, I don't know who is, to be honest. These pictures are so doctored. Can you imagine if they did it, chilling on the moon, watching Star Trek? And yeah, so now, of course, these are just there's just a few images of the potential. There's just a few images of the potential hypothetical project on the moon, which got scrapped, right? Which technically or theoretically got scrapped. That's a cool vehicle. That's an interesting vehicle. It's got a plow in the front, and it looks like it's got a crane in the back, plow in the front. It's like a construction type vehicle. Typical lunar construction vehicle, it says here. So yeah, so there was a theoretical plan to build a base on the moon, and of course the U.S. needed it. It was so important back then, right, to get a base on the moon first before the Soviets, and to get nukes on the moon first, right? Yeah, kind of just crazy ideas. But yeah, they wanted to get nukes on the moon before anybody. And so sometimes when they talk about that, we got to the moon, but we were asked not to come back, sometimes it's almost believable, in the sense that that maybe, humanity, and let me just say this. When I say humanity, I'm not so sure that humanity is not ready. It's more like the knuckleheads in the lead. Some of the leadership at the time, right, is not ready, or is not acting responsible enough, mature enough, because and unfortunately, some of the leadership in the past, I think we're in a much better place now. The leadership in the past was understandably at first looking out for society and stability, but obviously a lot of the absolute power corrupts absolutely, and some of those people obviously ended up making decisions, and a lot of those people, of course, are all gone by now. Most of them, I would assume all of them, but a lot of those people who are gone and initially taking these decisions, which Eisenhower warned us about, were obviously initially making decisions for the greater good, but then obviously probably being overcome with basically just greed, right? Greed and power. So if they put a nuke on the moon, someone would start worshiping it, like in Planet of the Apes. Oh, somebody put a nuke on the moon. Yeah. What do you guys think? Let me ask the question to the chat. What do you guys think? Do you guys think the moon is an outpost? Do you guys think the moon is an outpost? Or do you guys think there's an alien outpost on the moon, or is the whole moon itself an alien outpost? It's very interesting, and I'm sure a lot of you people have heard about this at some point. But the theory about some ancient human societies, native societies, talking about, especially in the Americas, about before the moon got here. The whole concept of before the moon got here. That's that's interesting. Was the moon brought here? Was the moon brought here? And we're going to talk a little bit about. We're going to talk more about this in another moment. But um, the whole concept of the moon being artificial in some way, is that concept hinted at in Star Wars? Is it hinted at in Star Wars? The first time they're approaching on the Millennium Falcon, they're approaching the Death Star, right? And and I think it was Han Solo goes, "That small moon," right? And Ben Kenobi says, "No, that's no moon," right? Or Luke says it, I forget. And so it's interesting that it's interesting that there might be that parallel there. And we're going to take a look at that clip. Now, the moon is just what happened when a planet called Theia hit Earth four and a bit billion years ago. This is cryptic. Yes. It's interesting how many and was Mars actually the moon was Mars actually a moon of the fourth planet, and who that suffered some cataclysm, and that's why we have the asteroid belt. And I wonder what the truth really is. It'd be fascinating. Larry, let's go take a look at that clip. And I don't want to get in trouble with Fox News. There's a lot of copyright stuff going on lately. Let me make sure. I don't want to play too much of it. Give me one sec, guys. I just want to make sure. I don't want to play too much of it. Just want to make sure. And I actually took a hand video of it because I don't want to. Well, give me one sec to just confirm. Okay. Fox News is in trouble. Why is Fox News in trouble? Okay, let's play. Let's put that up there. All right. So this is Dan Driscoll, Army Secretary of the Army, and I gotta say, in this video clip, this guy looks. This guy looks really young. I don't think he's that young, but he looks crazy. He looks very young in this clip here. Hey, Basco, Kaisho, my friend. Good to see you. Good to see you, Basco Scenario. And don't forget, guys, to use your wrenches. You can always use your wrenches to let people in the chat know what you got going on. And all right, so let's play a little bit of that clip. And I just want to play basically just a very short piece of it. Let's see. Okay. One second. Alrighty. Guys, do me a favor, hit that like. All right. Excuse me. So let's listen to the clip, and let me be quite frank. This is very short. It's very short. It's very brief, but it's um, so out of place. It's so out of place, and it's so out of place too that the reporter doesn't go back and say, "Wait, did you make a mistake with what you just said?" Because it's so obvious with what he just said, right? And of course, we who listen to a lot of disclosure stuff are constantly hearing about, U.S. military on the moon. So if you're used to listening to this stuff, you're hearing it and it makes sense, but you're also well aware that it shouldn't make sense. It shouldn't make sense to people who are hearing it. So here, let me just let's just go and listen to it. Okay.
Whether it's helping with floods in North Carolina or wildfires in California, or we talked to an astronaut yesterday who's on the moon, who's a soldier, including actually going to war and fighting to defend the freedoms that make our nation so great.
All right. Now I'm going to play it again, but it's crazy short. It's crazy casual, and it's casually ignored by the person interviewing him, and it's weird as hell. It's weird as hell. Dude, that dude looks AI generated. He looks AI generated, cryptic. I'm back. The directive left the moon for a base on Mars in 1991. Oh, interesting. The directive left the moon for a base on Mars in 1991, says Adega. Adega knows his stuff. Adega knows his stuff. Maybe when we have a little session on roundtable on this, we might have Adega on, if he's up to it, if he's got time. He's busy. He's a busy author, busy science fiction author. Must be on the dark side of the moon, says Busco. Let's listen to that again, and give me your opinions, guys. Give me your opinions on what. Give me your opinions, because this is very casual. It's very. It's very casual. You might think he's making a mistake. Like, you might think he's making a mistake and be like, he must be talking about somebody on the International Space Station. But this is it's so bizarre to even make the mistake of saying somebody's on the moon when, like, technically nobody, as long as the public is concerned, there's nobody on the moon, right? Technically NASA's barely got anything going on robotically on the moon, right? So, let alone boots on the ground.
The Army has done, whether it's helping with floods in North Carolina or wildfires in California, or we talked to an astronaut yesterday who's on the moon, who's a soldier, including actually going to war and fighting to defend the freedoms that make our nation so great. We think this is going to be an incredible opportunity for the Army to fill up our pipeline for the years to come.
Okay, so he's talking about recruitment there at the end. Yeah, I gotta say, this is my view on this, and I want to get your feedback on this, guys, in the chat. Please give me your feedback. Please give me your ideas. Please let us know what you think. I personally think this is done on purpose, done in a very casual way, on purpose, and I even think that the reporter interviewing him was probably primed so as not to ask about it, right? To just let the facts slip out, and no, don't focus on what I just said. And so I actually think that when you hear something like this, and you guys give me your opinions on this, when you hear something like when you hear this big juicy fact slip out in such a casual way, and the reporter doesn't address it, and this is very likely a slow drip for disclosure. I am 99% sure that the person interviewing him was told, listen, I'm going to say something that's so outrageous, but I'm just going to slip it into this very casual sentence that I'm going to let go. But you just let it go. You just let it go. We're going to put it out there, and we're going to put it out on Fox News, and we're going to put it out on your show. But just, when I say it, just let it go. Don't delve on it. Don't ask me about it. So what do you guys think? Mysterious as the dark side of the moon, says Cryptic. Our landing craft keep tipping over. Are you talking about the Starship, right? This is Fox News. What do you expect? It's mainstream media. It is, but it's a big deal though. It's a but I know what you're saying. Yeah. So they're actually the reporters in the mainstream media. I wonder if it's the same for Fox, but the reporters in the mainstream media are probably trained to overlook something like this in case something is said, not on purpose, right? But again, I think here, and I want you guys to let me know. Do you guys think, and I'm asking the chat this, do you guys think that the reporter was let know ahead of time that he was gonna share something? He was gonna share a outrageous tidbit of information. Gotta say, join up, go to the moon. I wouldn't be saying no. For recruitment, you wouldn't be saying no. Drip by drip, little by little. Yes, it is drip by drip. It's interesting because there's a lot in this community right now. If you listen to somebody like Michael Sala, Dr. Michael Sala, and you listen to some other people in this community, in the kind of the disclosure community, there has recently been this trend, this idea that, you know what, there has been progress in disclosure, but it all of a sudden, in the last few weeks and months, it feels like it's being pulled back somehow. And maybe that's true a little bit, but there's also some intention to have some constant, like Yadega said, drip drip, like Starship Troopers. It says Cryptic charm. Yeah, hopefully without those big bugs from Starship Troopers. Intuitive mission landings craft rovers. Oh, okay. The rovers you're talking about. Okay. Hey, JPRPH1. Good to see you, JPRPH1. Good to see you, my friend. Howdy, folks. So we're talking about the leak here on Fox News for the U.S. Army Secretary Dan Driscoll just casually saying that yesterday we happened to talk to an astronaut on the moon who's a soldier, and so yeah. This is what we're talking about for those of you who are just coming in. The far side of the moon has many craters, like many armies' best obstacle course. Just the thought, recruitment might be a bit scary. Um, yeah, I mean, it might. Um, recruitment might be a bit scary, and you might not know what you're signing up for. I think that's what a dig is going for. You might not know what you're signing up for, and yeah, you might think you're signing up for one thing, and it might be a whole different thing. And unfortunately, there's a lot of stories like that. It's interesting that one of the disclosure individuals who is frequently on Dr. Michael Sala's channel, JP, and JP, you guys will see. I'm sure you guys have seen this image. I'm sure you guys have seen. That's funny. Now I can't. So Dr. Michael Sala was a professor at American University, and he kind of got let go when he kind of got let go when we started talking about exopolitics. And that's what he basically talks about. He talks about exopolitics. He talks a lot about mystical stuff and a little woo stuff, but he has a lot of interesting content. And he often interviews somebody named JP, who happens to be, and this is why I'm talking about JP, who happens to be a let's see, who happens to be a happens to be an army guy. And hey, Cryptic, go to sleep. Thank you for hanging out with us. Take care, my friend. Yeah, it's late there. I wanted to show you an image here. And guys, do me a favor, hit that like. Do me a favor, hit that like, guys. Let's see. I want to show you an image of JP. This is not JP Egotastic. This is not our friend Egotastic. All right. Wow. I thought it was going to be easier to bring up a picture of this person. Let's see. So he's all right. Let me here. Let me see if I can share this. So, so you guys can see this, right? Yeah. So he for a while he's been without showing his face, and he actually does even speaking in public, and he wears this helmet, this like pilot helmet, and he's a very interesting guy. He's talked about like a lot of it, he's apparently allowed to. He's not really a whistleblower because he's being allowed to talk about some of his missions and some of his missions with the secret space program. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to put the I'm going to put I'm going to put some of the links. I'm going to put a link to one of the interviews with on Dr. Michael Sala's channel. And so if you guys want to go check out who he is, and this is a more recent here. He's not wearing a helmet here. He's just wearing like a face mask here. Which is interesting because he says he's going to share his identity pretty soon. But this is Dr. Michael Sala's channel. And there he is with JP. So anybody wants to check that out, guys. And good to see you, Tommy. Good to see you. Hey, and Pastor Lee, good to see you. Good to see you, Brother Lee. And for those of you guys who are just coming in, I'm going to play that one more time because we're going to wrap up soon. But and thank you guys for so many people being here. Please do me a favor, hit that like, guys. Do me a favor and hit that like. I want to share one more time the that clip from Fox News. Excuse me. Now, again, on June 14th, the Army is celebrating the big parade with for the 250th anniversary. It's funny because I've heard a few things in the news. Like Trump wants this parade for his birthday because it happens to be his birthday. There's absolutely no way. There is no way. I mean, it's a coincidence because there is no way that Trump could have worked this out. It's just a coincidence. It happens to fall on his birthday or the day next to his birthday. I'm not sure which day is his birthday, but yeah. So there's a big parade. So I think it's very interesting that this leak comes from the Secretary of the Army. Let's listen to that one more time for those of you guys who popped in here recently.
Has done, whether it's helping with floods in North Carolina or wildfires in California, or we talked to an astronaut yesterday who's on the moon, who's a soldier, including actually going to war and fighting to defend the freedoms that are that make our nation so great. We think this is going to be an incredible opportunity for the Army to fill up our pipeline for the years to come. And
so he's talking about recruitment there. This is a huge deal. This is very subtle, but listen, this is not a mistake. I don't think it's a mistake. I think he said what he wanted to say. I also think, and again, I put this question to you guys who are coming into the chat. I also think that he doesn't say this without having previously warned the reporter, "Hey, I'm going to drop a bomb in our discussion, but don't focus on it. Just let it happen." Just let it happen and be there recorded for posterity's sake. And we're not going to focus on it. It's very interesting that mainstream media forget about it. But even Fox News or other entities have not talked about it. It'd be interesting to see if News Nation has talked about it, because News Nation has been a lot more on the ball with being objective and talking about stuff. Of course, they have Ross, the whole Ross Cohart collaboration there, and other collaborations. They're doing a very good job, News Nation, of being more objective and more responsible to others. And glad we have astronauts on the moon protecting it from reckless pillaging, attacking, and other mayhem. Hey, Positive Candor. Not just waiting for them to be sent to Mars, all the rest of the solar system's moons. Yeah. You know what? If we didn't have astronauts on the moon, it would be terribly it'd be terribly irresponsible. We should have astronauts on the moon, and of course, we do have astronauts on the moon. We have astronauts who a lot of them are probably former soldiers or active soldiers, um, and the only thing is that we don't, they don't publicly talk about it. So this slow leak. What do you guys think about this slow leak? This drip drip from the administration. Hello, Mel. Thank you for joining us. Yeah, soldiers on the moon. He just slipped that in. Yeah, he just slipped that in. Yeah, very casual. And again, what do you guys think about the fact that I think when you drop something like this, and the reporter doesn't say, "Oh, well, you mean the space station, not the moon," right? And it depends. We on the space station, we might not have. I don't know. We'd have to look at it, but on the space station, we might not have an astronaut who is former military right now. So, and that'd be something to look at. But for the reporter not to ask, or not to follow up and say, "Oh, you meant the moon. I mean, you meant the space station or something, right?" So I think, and let me know what you guys think. I think that it's pretty obvious that he probably, told the reporter. Somebody told the reporter at some point, "Listen, Secretary Driscoll is going to drop a bomb, and he's going to drop a small little grenade on your in the discussion with you guys. But don't focus on it. Just let it go. He's going to slip it in there and let it be on record for this slow drip that the Trump administration is doing. And thank God that they're doing a slow drip. Thank God that something is moving forward. Of course, I think the idea is that for some reason, it's going to be inevitable at some point. But I do think that presidential candidates like Trump and Kennedy, and Kennedy had a lot more support than people realize. I do think that presidential candidates like Trump and Kennedy, who are now kind of in this coalition together, right, under the Trump umbrella, I do think that both of those, individuals ultimately favor disclosure and speeding up disclosure on some level, right? Thanks for sharing about JP. I've watched his videos on Dr. Sal's channel. Interesting stuff. Yeah. Oh, thanks. Sure, Mel. Yeah, JP. And again, JP, this is Dr. Michael Sal's channel. You guys are going to want to check out. It's very interesting. JP talks a lot about the fact that there are these space arcs. JP talks about that there are these space arcs and in the Atlantic and the Pacific and different parts of the world, and these space arcs have been activated recently. And these space arcs have something to do with disclosure and have something to do with a shift going on the planet for humanity. And it seems to be a positive thing. Whatever it is, it seems to be a positive thing. Hey, thank you, Nemesis Savidin, for gifting an Orville membership, an Orville Nation membership. Thank you, my friend. Thank you. Thank you, Nemesis. And and I'm glad Positive Candor got it. Awesome. It's going to blow people's minds, says Mel. And again, guys, this brings up the whole Project Horizons, the whole Project Horizons idea. And as we were showing before, right? Let me look for those original pictures. let me show. Wait, this is the thumbnail, but let me look for the original pictures of Project Horizon. Some of the original pictures, sorry, etchings or images of Project Horizon. Project Horizon was a 50s and 60s effort, late 50s and early 60s idea to put an army base on the moon. And it was declassified not long ago. And one of the things about Project Horizon, well, we're going to discuss, we're going to come back to this. I just wanted to share this. I just wanted to share this with everybody because I think this is a big deal and happened yesterday. It's not being reported. And I do know that Sporking is going live soon, and I'm probably going to send everybody over there. Yeah, the space arcs are positive for sure, says Mel. Agreed. Absolutely, Mel. Yeah. I think they are positive. And I'm glad you're following all that content. No, dude, this is not. No, it's not CGI. It's green service. No, I am on the I am on the Orville around in orbit, of course. No, I do have a green screen. Hello, Lady Mist. Good to see you, Lady Mist. Good to see you, my friend. And she's saying hi to Art. She always says hi to Art. I don't know if he's in here right now. We'll see. I guess we'll find out if Arg is in here. If he's in the house, we'll find out. He's at the other computer, and if he sees Lady Mist, I'm sure he'll shout her out. Let's see. So let me just show again some of those images from the from Project Horizon, and I think what we're going to do is we're going to probably discuss Project Horizon more in depth on another stream, and so that this is one of the original idea sketches for Project Horizon. And the idea is, you know what, it was theoretically scrapped, but was it scrapped? Was it really scrapped? Was it scrapped? So when can we all go on a joyride around the solar system or to other planets? I don't know about joyrides. But I am sure, I don't know about joyrides, but I am sure that, for sure that people are already traveling in the solar system. And wonderful evening, Lady Mist, says Dega. Yeah.
Misty guy there gets me all warm and fuzzy there now. Gets me all misty-eyed there.
There he is. Yeah, I knew. Hey, see, if he's in the house, he's gonna shout out Lady Mist for sure. Wonderful afternoon, Diga. Everybody saying hi to Lady Mist. There were many more Apollo missions after 17. You know what? Totally believable. And also, there were more Apollo missions after 17. Probably were, as Positive Kender says. And the government, the secret space program, obviously had another modality of traveling by then, by the 70s. They probably had alternative flight, options. So this is some of the imagery, and let me just make sure if Sporking is. Let me see if Scotty is streaming, because we're gonna send people over there. Let's see. So Scotty, the reason I'm sending the reason I want to see if Scotty's streaming is because he's going to be talking about the exact same thing. And let's see. There he is. So So, all right, guys. So there we go. And Scotty is talking about the exact same thing. And I think what we're going to do is we're going to send. Adega is. Thank you, Adega. Thank you, my friend. Awesome. Thank you, my friend. And yeah, what I want you guys to do is we're gonna sign off, and we're going to all go over to Scotty's stream where we're going to continue this discussion, and we're going to come back. We're going to come back to this discussion, and we're going to come back to this discussion, and we are going to talk more about this another day. And we're going to talk about Project Horizon. Did it happen? We're going to talk about the declassification. There are some more documents about the declassification. So what we're going to do is we're going to do a little research, and we're going to have another stream. We're probably going to have a couple of panelists. Of course, Dega is welcome to join us. And good to see you, Mel. Thank you for joining us. Thank you. That's the link to Scotty. And guys, we're head over to Scotty and let's continue this conversation on Sporking. And this was kind of just to get the information out. It's not being covered. And what we're going to do is we're going to have a little discussion group, little panel for next time, and we're going to continue the conversation. We're going to look more into Project Horizon and the process of declassification, official declassification that was done a couple of years ago. And you guys can decide if Project Horizon was actually scrapped or not. It doesn't sound like it was scrapped. All right, my friends, take care. Many blessings to you, and we will be back soon. Go over to Sporking and give him a raid. Give Scotty a raid. Many blessings, guys. Let's see. And here we go.